The Kingdom of Mali. Mali was established about 1235 CE. It began to lose power in the 1400s and collapsed in 1600 CE. Mali was formed when a ruler named Sundiata Keita united the tribes of Malinke. He then led them to overthrow the rule of the Soso, and thus the Empire of Mali was created. The Kingdom of Mali spanned three main topographical zones, each of which played an important part in its makeup. In the northern part of the kingdom lay the Sahara Desert, which acted like a barrier against invasion from that direction, and over which caravans of traders brought goods to and from the kingdom. Beneath it ran a broad strip, known as the Sahel, or shore. The Sahel is arid with little rainfall, and its vegetation consists mainly of scrub, bush, thorn, sandy soils, and solitary trees. This belt was the home of herdsmen, with the occasional farmer. Further south lay the savanna, mainly grasslands with occasional patches of woodland, home to more intensive cattle and arable farming. The people of Mali were able to catch fish in the Niger River, which ran straight through the Mali Empire. The most important aspects of Mali's staple diet consisted of the high consumption of salt and fish. These were two natural resources that were abundant in the empire as a result of their geographic position. The north of Mali was the location of various salt mines, which gave Mali a direct access and supply of the necessary amounts of salt required. Furthermore, the natives of Mali acquired vast amounts of fish primarily through the Niger River, the source of life and growth for Mali. The Niger River provided means of transportation for trade, which was very significant in consideration that Mali was the main distributor of gold and salt to Europe and the rest of Africa. This is the Nile River for Mali, as it provided fertility for agriculture, a stable supply of fish, and granted the possibility of constant transportation for merchants who needed to travel in order to barter gold and salt, the most important and controlled commodities of Mali. The people of Mali started off making their houses with mud and sticks, but when their empire grew and gained power, they began using stone and iron objects to create their houses. Leather workers made saddles, sword sheaths, garments, pouches for amulets, and bridles. According to tradition, it was blacksmiths who were responsible for forming lodges. Lodges were secret associations for blacksmiths, and membership was limited to those initiated into the secrets of the craft. They maintained mostly the physical roads and bridges. Masks were made out of wood, copper, bronze, and pottery. They usually represented spirits, animals, or ancestors and were passed down from generation to generation. For the details of the mask, they used animal teeth, hair, bones, and horns. Sometimes they used seashells or feathers. They were mostly used during rituals and ceremonies. Sundiata was the first emperor of the Mali kingdom. However, legend has it that he was also a powerful sorcerer. He was called the Great Sorcerer King. He claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne, but his rival king Sumenguru thought otherwise. He too was a sorcerer. For assistance, Sumenguru summoned 8 spirits. Yet Sundiata was stronger and more powerful than all of them combined. He defeated all 8 spirits and then shot one arrow grazing Sumenguru's arm, draining all of his remaining magic. Him being defeated enabled Sundiata to take throne and become king of Mali. The Malians celebrate most of their festivals by wearing masks and going through a village with music and are all lively during these festivals. Malians' longest holiday is Ramadan. During Ramadan, they give gifts, wear new clothing, have family gatherings, and often make traditional meals. Mali's government is based on a centralized system of administration, where the Mansa, who was the absolute leader, had advisors and bureaucrats who aided him in the administration of the empire. The Mansa was the sovereign ruler that inherited power and had total dominion and control. The social stratification of Mali was developed by its founder Sundiata, who had established a rigid caste system similar to that of India's. In this social organization, social mobility did not exist, but one's occupation depended on their father's employment. In this society, the individual did not have the right to freely choose their occupation, but it was decided by the employment of one's father, which would then automatically be inherited by his son. However, Mali would grow and burgeon in cultural value with the later leadership of Mansa Musa. The abundance of gold in Mali led to Mansa Musa's unprecedented wealth, which brought him to such economic prosperity that he is acknowledged as the wealthiest man in all of history, even surpassing contemporary billionaires such as Bill Gates. The heavy influence of Islamic culture, beliefs, and morals
inspired Mansa Musa to go on his religious pilgrimage to Mecca. On his return to Mecca, Mansa Musa thoroughly developed burgeoning trading cities known as Timbuktu and Gao. These cities were the most developed and modern of Mali, becoming centers where Mansa Musa established the construction of new Arabic styles of architecture were introduced. Literature of all subjects became observed within the city, which all gave rise to the construction of a massive university in Timbuktu. This university has been accredited to as one of the oldest academic institutions to have been developed. Therefore, Timbuktu and Gao were very significant cities that gave rise to Mali's cultural value, cultural diffusion, power, wealth, and growth. Multiple mosques and universities. These constructions attracted Muslim scholars, doctors, merchants, and law officials to the city, which enhanced the city's cultural value as